All right. So the version of this song that's really popular was made popular by a guy named Bobby Helms, and that's in the key of D. So if you want to play along to that original recording, then you're going to take everything I'm going to show you and just move it up one step, because I play this in C. But you're going to see that's pretty easy because you're just going. And instead of that, you'll just take it up to here and you go. But you're also going to see that there's a few reasons to play this in the key of C. First of all, if you're not playing to the record and you're not playing in a band where the singer is demanding you that you play it in D, you're going to find that this gives you a fuller sound if you're playing by yourself or in a duet, and you have a little more room to move. So for instance, you'll see I got like more of the fretboard in either direction here on the C. And then when I come to the if you were playing that in D, you're going, and you just get a little too trebly and tinty up there, I think, and you're playing the whole song up there between the 10th and the 12th frets. Now you could obviously rearrange this whole song and play it down here if you want to play it in D, but I think most people do play with these inversions, and they really work best for this song. Now there are a couple other reasons, just not to bore you, but the other thing is, like if you're doing the intro, which I am going to show you several versions of the solo, you know, that's all the way down here. And some people, although some people do play it up here in D, but if you're playing it in C, then you're coming, you have the 12th and the 13th fret instead of the 14th and the 15th, and so it's just a little more room again. All right, and I'll show you the whole thing in a minute. But again, there's several versions of that and that intro. And one of the things you should realize is that you can come back to the intro if you play through the whole song. You're gonna have a blast with it. Okay, and so one of the things about this song, and let's just jump into the lesson, is that the chord progression here is just really fascinating. It really just does all the work for you. It's such a well-written song chordally, and so as you can see in the little chords diagram here, and I'm going to show you all the diagrams for each of the chords. The chords just do all the movement for you, and it's just a really fun song to play because of that, because you're doing that. And if you haven't seen my Winter Wonderland lesson, check that one out too, because it uses pretty much 75% of the same chords. It's got this C major 7, it's got the C6, it's got the C sharp diminished, and the D minor 7, and then the dominant G7. So anyway, check that out if you haven't. And again, just a quick reminder, please subscribe and like. I would like to keep doing this, and obviously eventually I would like to have enough subscribers and views to spend a little more time doing this. So anyway, subscribe and like, I'll be very grateful. So anyway, let's talk about this progression. So one of the nice things about this song is that if you know your jazz chords a little bit, this is going to give you a little bit of a workout, and it's going to get you a little faster at changing them. And if you don't know your jazz chords, well, this is just a great introduction, because they're all the basics are here. So as you see, you're going to start with a C major, plain old C major, just taking your E major shape and just bringing it down to the C. And then you're going to go to your C major 7, and then you're going to go to your C6 here, and then you're going to go back to your C major 7. C major, not C major 7. So C6, C major, right? And then you're going back to your 6. And that's just maybe the hardest climb, again, is taking the C6. But it feels good when you get it. And so you're taking the C6 and you're just holding these two fingers on. All right, so you're taking your C6, right? And you're gonna bring them up, and you're gonna transfer this to the, so I'm keeping this pinky here and sliding it up one. And then this one is sliding up too. So I'm going on the 6, I've got this. See how this index finger just came up to here. This pinky stays put. So I'm going to get up to the C sharp, half diminished or diminished 7, or whatever you call it. And then you're playing D minor 7 to your G7. And then you just go back and forth on that. Snowing and blowing, and oceans of fun. Oh, now the jingle hop has begun. And that's just the G augmented, which just sounds great. So if you're not used to playing augmented chords, it's just got that really beautiful little flavor. And then you go into the second verse. Same thing again. Oh, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime and jingle bell time. Prancing and prancing in the jingle bell square. In the frosty air. Now you're going to land right on that C major. And then, after you hit that C at the end, just a regular old C at the end of the second verse, then you're going to do this chorus slash bridge, whatever you want to call this thing. It's kind of a weirdly structured song. So I'm going to call it the chorus, but you can call it a bridge too if you want. But basically it's this part that goes, what a bright time is the right time to rock that night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Oh! And then you're going to go into verse 3. Giddy up the jingles, jingle the old feet. And again, verse 3 is kind of strange. And so maybe verse 3 could be considered part of this bridge, because that's the part where you're going to go, giddy up, jingles, jingle the old feet, jingle around the clock. And so you're really starting off just like you're playing a verse, but then you're switching to the A7 here. So anyway, whatever you want to call this thing, I've got it listed there as chorus slash bridge, and these are all the chords that are coming at you. All right, so you're going to start off with this F, and this first half of this little bridge, you're going to play the F, and since you're playing this F root, and then bringing it right up to this F sharp diminished 7, there's your F sharp. This is definitely a nice little set of notes to play. Now remember, since this is a diminished 7th or you know, fully diminished chord, that's going to repeat every 3. So you know, it's the same as this chord. But again, if you're playing this F, then your F sharp is in the root, so that's just going to be very nice. This is the same 4 notes, but you got your D sharp in the root. So anyway, so you could do that. You could go, what a bright time is a bright time. But I'm going to play this one. And then you go to the C7, and you could just do a C here if you want. Depends on how much moving you want to do. But I like doing this little rockabilly thing, you know, that you do Johnny B. Good or whatever you want to call that. But anyway, because you're going to go to rock the night away, jingle bell time. And I think this might be optional too on the recording. I'm not sure if they go, time is a swell time. But I think any kind of slides that give you that late 50s rockabilly, you know, jazzy rock kind of feel are going to sound great. Swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. So that I figured this out, and I'm fairly certain these are the right chords. Now you're going to see all sorts of things. So for instance, some transcriptions of the song, instead of going, what a bright time is a right time, and I would definitely disagree with that. Okay, I don't think it's an F minor, and I don't even think it's an F sharp minor 7 flat 5. I just think it's definitely this diminished chord, this diminished 7 chord. All right, and then on this ending part where they go to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. I've seen some funny transcriptions on that one. Some are like going to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. But this definitely sounds light years better if you ask me. It's just a plain old G to a D minor 7 to a G7 back to a G. Go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Oh! And then the second part of this chorus slash bridge, you're going to start it off just like you did on the verses. So you're going to go, giddy up, jingles, jingle your feet. So the same 4 chords. And then actually the same 6 chords, because you're going to go, jingle around the clock. But you're going to go to an A7 now. All right? So you'll, again, on some transcriptions, you'll see that you can go, you'll just see, giddy up, jingles, jingle your feet. Jingle around the clock. So if you don't want to do that climb, let's say you're not comfortable with that climb from the C6 to the C sharp diminished, you don't necessarily have to do that. You can go just jingle around the clock. If that helps you to remember that you're on the bridge and you're not going to go back to another C like you would in the verse, then maybe do that. The other thing you could do here, as I'm playing this A7, you can play this A7. And do that rockabilly thing again, or you can do this whatever A7 you want. All right, but I like this one. It just has the right tonality as far as I'm concerned. Then you're going to go back to the F, mix and mingle and a jingling feet well. Now here, I think you are just playing an F minor, and you can even throw in a 6. So you can go mix and mingle and a jingling, or even a 7 to a 6. So mix and mingle and whatever you want to do. But mix and mingle and a jingling feet well. Now, if this is the first time through on the chorus bridge, you're just going to do this once. This D7. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. And at the end, you're going to go. That's the Jingle Bell. That's a C6-9, or you can just do the old C9. I think on the Bobby Helms version, they're actually ending it with a C6-9. And you know, the Beatles coming out in their early 60s. This was, I think, put out in 57. You know, they like that little more jazzy kind of C6-9 instead of just the C9. But you're never going to go wrong with a C9. All right? Just briefly, the structure of the song is there's the first verse, which is the Jingle Bells Swing and Jingle Bells Ring, and then there's the second verse, which is Jingle Bells Chime and Jingle Bells Time. Then you do your bridge slash chorus thing once, and then basically on the album or the Bobby Helms version, that's where you're going to come back in and do verse 2 again with the Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock, jingle bells chime and jingle bell time, and then you go back to another one of the what right time is the right time to rock that night away, and then you're going to do this little thing at the end with the G7 3 times. That's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell rock. Alright, and then on the C6-9. But just so you know, if you are doing this song by yourself and you got a looper, it's really fun to noodle around under the verse, and you just basically run your C major scale. I do it down here, and so you under your chords where you're just going jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock, jingle bell swing, jingle bell ring, so wind and blowing and moves and flowing, well the jingle has begun. You can go just off your C scale. And so it's just basically right off that. So it's kind of fun. And then, you know, just have a little fun with it. Use your E pentatonic here, or C major pentatonic, whatever you want to call it, but basically. And then go back in and take it from the verse and go, what a bright day is the right time to rock that. All right, and then, and you can do that here, by the way. You can do your G7, slide up to the G7. That's kind of fun too. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. I don't know, if you want, you can do the. That's the Jingle Bell. That's the Jingle Bell. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. And that's the song. All right. Merry Christmas. Hope that helped. I hope you can throw that one together. It's pretty straightforward. If you know your jazz chords, you're going to have a lot of fun. You can probably put that together if you got a couple weeks. Merry Christmas. Please hit subscribe and like. Introduction, and so this introduction, like I said, on the Bobby Helms version, you're D. So you're really just taking a D chord and you're taking these top notes and going. And so since this is in C, you're going to play your little C. So just like a C chord, or the D version of the C chord here, and you're just taking these two notes, but you're sliding in from the 11 and the 12 to the 12 and the 13 on just the two high B strings. The high E and the high D, and then 12 and 12. As I said, there's a lot of versions on this, and I've seen a lot of people play it different ways. You don't have to hit all the notes because it sounds just as good. Like for instance, when you slide from the, and then you get back here on this 12 and 13, and you go. You can do single notes. You don't have to go. But either one's going to sound fine. Alright, so it's 14, 15 on the B, and the G and the B, and then it's 12 and 13, and then you drop a whole, not just a whole step, but 1.5 steps. So you're hitting an A and an E, so your E on this string, and A, and then you're just going back to the G and the E. So one more time, you're starting on 12 and 13, but you're sliding into it from 11 and 12. And then 12 and 12. And again, you can do both of these notes, the 13 and the 15, or you could just go. And then again, you can hit both of these notes, the 12 and the 13, or just the. But then you're going to go. And I'm showing that for effect, but you really probably want to leave these two fingers down as your anchor and just go. And then you're coming 1.5 steps back. So here you are on the 12 and the 13, and you're coming all the way down to the 9 and the 10. All right? For the A and the D, the A and the E, and then the G and the E. Keeping that E. All right? And then you're just going to walk down the scale, starting with a G. So you're walking down the bass line from the G, and then land on the C chord. So the notes are down to the D, but then you drop the C chord. So. Oh, again, just the whole thing. Oh, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. All right, so that's the. Oh, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing and buzzes of fun. Oh, now the jingle hop has begun. Oh, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in the jingle bell square. Beyond the falls, the air. What a bright time is the right time to rock that night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time, you know, to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Yeah. Oh, giddy up, jingle horse, and pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Well, now mix and mingle and a jingling feet. Well, that's the jingle bell rock. What a bright time is the right time to rock that night away. Oh, jingle bell time is a swell time, you know, to go riding in that one-horse sleigh. I said, giddy up, jingle horse, and pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Well, now mix and mingle and a jingling feet. Well, that's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell rock. Merry Christmas.